going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gamertag VR. My name's GT, I've been here before, and I basically wanted to do an update after yesterday, which was such a massive day for virtuality in my mind. The Quest Link software come out. It was in a beta form. We tested it out live. Some people had a lot of questions even after that. Like, I'd done like 3 hours of live streaming, tried to answer as many questions as I could. But what I wanted to do was basically go through some of those questions and give you some of my replies and thoughts on them. So as someone who actively uses Reddit, I post on there quite a lot, and also I try and respond as well. I don't just dump information and walk away. I do try and respond to stuff. It is getting more harder these days. But here we go. Thanks for responding. You don't have to write an essay, but here's the questions that come to mind. What's it like loading into games and getting it to work for PC VR? Any issues setting up? One of the things you're going to need is when you go over to your Oculus desktop is make sure you've got public test channel enabled. And at the bottom here, you will see that the Oculus app version is 1.43. This was the same version I used yesterday. So what you want to do now is you want to head over to your settings and see all option. Then go down to the About tab, and then you will see Software Update. It will tell you the latest version, and this way you can also check if you are on the latest firmware. And then I simply plugged in this anchor cable into my USB extension piece, which is a 3.0, and then put this into the Oculus Quest, and it automatically started up. And what I was greeted with was nothing lesser than a shock, to be honest. It was genuinely like using a Rift. It was exactly the same as using a Rift. I would say it's not as clear as a Rift S, but it was definitely on par with the CV1, which is not bad at all. And I was amazed. Like, literally before I went live, I was having to check that I was having the Quest on, because it felt like I was lying in a way, because I was quite skeptical about this. You know, once I went through the video of, you know, how it's compressed on the PC, sent over to the Quest uncompresses it, and they were talking about, like, there was going to be foveated rendering on the outside of the images, basically to keep up with latency and stuff, and the transfer of digital information. Didn't notice any of that. It was a really seamless, pleasurable experience, and I think Oculus Quest owners are in for a big win. I think once you experience some PC VR games that are on offer, you're gonna have your minds blown. How does it feel to play the Quest in PC VR versus the Quest on its own? That's quite interesting, because the reason I wasn't all hyped for the Quest Link cable itself, for two reasons. I have an Oculus Rift S already, and I've had an Oculus Rift. The Quest brings you freedom. That's what this is. This is mobile VR. It's very good, high quality mobile VR. You know, this is something I find pleasure in sharing with other people. And you're now tethering this beast. You know what I mean? But that's what we're after, really. We're after that headset that can be used for both. You know, like, you can use it here, and then you can just take it out in the world, use it, share it, spread the love of VR, then come back, plug it back in, or use the next versions of the Rift wirelessly completely, but the power is then moving from whatever mobile unit is powering this to using your PC hardware. I thought the tracking worked fantastic yesterday using the Link. A lot of people were asking me about latency and is there any, like, delay and stuff, and no, there wasn't. It was very good. It was really good. How big a difference is there between the Rift and the Quest? Is really note the minor upgrade. The biggest differences, starting from the top, is clarity. Even though this has got a higher resolution than the Rift S is notably clearer. When it comes to comfortability, the Rift S wins in spades. Like yesterday, after a live stream, my cheeks were hurting, my head was hurting, and that's even with all these mods. I've heard about the Franken Quest mod. I think I'm going to have to buy it and have a go with that and see how we get on. Like, you can do it. I can do a good, like, 4 hours in this, and I'd like to have a bit of a break. But apart from that, like, the Rift S is super comfy, like, really comfy. But apart from that, no. I mean, when I was using the Link, I was thinking to myself, if I had a CV1 right now, say I had the CV1 sitting there, and I had that and the Link cable, I would possibly sell my CV1 to go towards a Quest or a Rift S, because with the Link cable, you've got the inside-out tracking. You've got all the same uses you have on as you would on a normal CV1 headset, plus extras. So, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me was, is it a Rift S killer? Not for me personally. If I'm using PC, I'm still going to go to my Rift S. There's no two ways about it. The clarity is fantastic and the comfortability is fantastic. But is this a CV1 killer, the cable? I would say it is, yeah. I would say it is because you're getting away from all the sensors. And I mean, I loved it yesterday. That experience was great. So the next question: can I buy any game that works with Rift and just load it up? Yes, as far as I know, every game, if you, it's the same as a PC VR headset and Steam VR. It basically makes the PC think that this is just another display unit, just like the Rift S or any other HMD. Is the tracking any different when you plugged in? No, it was still just as good as normal. What's your favourite game you've tried on the Quest Link? Probably the game that made me gawp the most was Asgard's Wrath. It was that was special, that moment when I like threw the axe and grabbed it again and stuff. I was like, wow, this is superb. This is the real deal. Do you know what I mean? That was the moment. Stormlands was pretty cool, but Stormlands is very like very hard, very spec heavy. Do you know what I mean? Like it takes a lot of grunt. You know, because I hadn't used it myself. I mean, I spoke to plenty of people I do trust, so I knew it was going to be good. I just didn't expect it to be that good, and it is that good. What's your personal thoughts overall on the Quest and the Link gameplay? Seamless. It was amazingly easy. It was great fun, and they have turned this into a PC VR headset. That's what they've done. It's the real deal, man. It's the real deal. I'm amazed. I was amazed. I was in shock yesterday. Like when I went to work afterwards, I got no one at work really I can talk to about VR. And then they dropped the announcement of Half-Life VR as well. I was like, dude, I'm buzzing. Like I could have stayed streaming to you guys for hours because everyone had questions and I wanted to answer them all. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and watches this video as well. Thank you. So let's check out some more comments over on YouTube. Okay, is this better blur than Wi-Fi streaming? So basically, I'm going to break this down into they're asking, is it better to use a link cable than using virtual desktop? I used virtual desktop twice or three times, and personally, I didn't really find it that good an experience. I'm quite a, how can I put it? I don't want games with lag. Yeah, like even though I can run some games on Ultra on PC VR, I tend to drop it down a bit because I like a smooth frame rate. Because anything like a drop in a frame or a little bit of lag or a little bit of latency can break the immersion for me in virtual reality. So I try and make things as smooth and looking as natural as possible. And yeah, I found that virtual desktop didn't really do that. I kept coming across some issues and stuff. That's my personal thing on this. You know, like I've heard some people swear by it. They're like, they absolutely love it and they've been using the Quest wirelessly for a long time. But the link cable was actually like just using a normal PC VR headset. Okay, next up. Brah moment. Should I buy Rift S or Quest now? I will use it mainly on PC, but I don't know what I should do. So for me, this is a little bit straightforward, really. If you're not interested in mobile VR, if you're not interested in taking the Quest with you anywhere, I wouldn't get the link cable because the link cable still isn't as good clarity-wise as using a Rift S. There seems to be a little bit of a drop in some things, you know. There seems to be, when I played Until You Fall, I noticed there were some like artifacts in some colours and stuff. That was the only game actually I noticed it in, funny enough. But everything else was very good. But if you're just going to be in your office, in your room, whatever, and you're not interested in moving around and going elsewhere, then I would still suggest picking up the Rift S over the Quest and a link cable. Okay, what cable model exactly do you use? This is the cable that I use. I went back in my history on Amazon and this was the one that I purchased over 6 months ago just to use the Quest with side quest. As you can see now, right, even though I click on my old order number, which comes up as the 10 foot 3 meter cable isn't showing as an option. They've only got the 0.9 and the 6 foot. So unfortunately, yeah, but this is the cable I used yesterday. That cable is also in the video description. You can check it out for yourself. But yeah, like during the live stream, I'm pretty sure someone told me that the 3 meter version sold out. Joshua, Oculus ad just dropped Vader Immortal bundle. 7 was totally right. That is correct. Yes, Oculus are doing for Christmas an Oculus Quest bundle, which is something we've spoke about in the link as a possibility because we didn't see there was going to be a price drop because the Quest is killing it at the moment. There's no need to drop the price. But what they've done is bring you a gaming bundle featuring all the Star Wars games. And yeah, man, that's going to rock this Christmas. See, Star Wars the VR series Vader Immortal is free with Oculus Quest till the 31st of January 2020. So yeah, hopefully there's answers some questions for you. I will be back doing a live stream of the cable again because it seems like a lot of people want to see it in action. But yeah, thank you for watching this. Hope you hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Bye bye.